Welcome back to another wonderful property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Parkland, Florida, looking at this gorgeous custom luxury house for sale. And I'll make sure to leave all of the information about this property in the description below for you to check it out. Now, starting on the exterior, you see that we have the beautiful modern look. You are gonna have the stucco surrounding as well as some ceramic tile accents throughout this property. Now, you do have this beautiful stone material that's going to continue from the driveway, of course, from the pavement all the way to your covered front porch and your garage door bays. Now, you have a single car garage bay over here to the left, and then the additional 2-car garage bay over here to the right. Now, I'll go ahead and turn you around so that way you can see the length of the driveway. You see that they just planted some trees, giving it that nice, beautiful curb appeal. And look at this, you're on a cul-de-sac. Now, I love the size of the motor court, so plenty of parking available. That stucco is going to continue in our covered front porch over here. Then you will see a LED strip right here going into the covered front porch on the columns. That's going to continue on the ceiling as well, and it's surrounding the property. So, of course, this is going to be more prevalent at nighttime whenever you get to see the covered front porch illuminated. And then the stonework continues over here. Now, the cool thing about this one, you are going to have a massive pivot door on the front and towards the back, heading to the covered backyard patio. We'll see that a little bit later on. But look at this, extremely modern. But the cool thing about this at the same time is extremely private. So let's get you inside this property so you can see this beauty. All right. So immediately whenever you walk in, you have the great room, the open dining area, and then look at that, towards the kitchen. So I would say this is more of the formal living, and then towards the back would be more of that family area. But let's start over here to our formal living room. So you have the floor to ceiling porcelain tile right there surrounding the fireplace. You're gonna have the floating ceilings with the cove lighting inside. Beautiful wood accents gonna extend from wall to wall, even going into the entry point right there. And of course, not to mention the large windows. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Then of course, our open concept dining area, you have a 10-seater dining table. You can fit more because you see the amount of room that you still have available. We'll get to the kitchen a little bit later on. What I want to go ahead and do is show you this side of the house, and then we'll make our way around. So the cool thing about this one, you're going to have a designated media area. We'll get to that in straight ahead. But first and foremost, this would be coming in from your 1-car garage bay. Now, quick backstory on this particular property. So you had the owner who decided to build his dream house, right? So he picked out all the finishes and things that he would want inside of his home, and he'd done a great job of that. But then, as his daughter started moving out, and the place is massive, you're gonna see that throughout the, of course, the tour, it's just too much space for him. So after a lot of talking and a lot of going back and forth, it made sense for him to go ahead and put this home on the market. And that's the only reason why he is selling. So you have the sink inside of here. You got some custom cabinetry and built-ins that you're gonna see throughout this property again. And then you got your oversized washer and dryer, so you can see how much space you still have available on both ends. If you needed more of that industrial size, you can certainly do that. And then this is gonna be your single car garage bay. Now they are doing some final touches on here, but then they're also, still in and out of the property. So you're gonna see some things in here, and that's just, just because they're kind of in the property or in and out for now. Okay, so you saw the epoxy flooring in there. Now heading into our designated media area, look how much room you have available. So you already got your built-in projector here, your projector screen over there. They decided to opt for the carpet to give it more of that cozy feel. You got the tall baseboards inside of here. You got additional little electrical closet that you can take advantage of. But you have plenty of room in here. If you wanted to add the theater seats, you can certainly do that. If you wanted to add more of that L-shaped couch, just have more of that lounge feel, you can certainly do that as well with no issues. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the primary suite before we head to that wing of the house. Now you do have a designated guest house out there, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. Okay, so as we're coming in here, you see that we have the French doors. Look at this. Look at the amount of room that you have in this primary suite. So he opted for the additional windows that's going to be surrounding the bedroom set that you can take advantage of, and you just have a ton of room. So you will notice too, you have the floating ceiling with the cove lighting extending here. Then you have the corner sliders right there. So another thing that is certainly prevalent is that you open these up, have the indoor-outdoor feel, but you'll have that throughout the house. You may see some sliders around here. So let me do a full pan. You will notice some accents again. You have a designated wet bar over there. That's the covered sink. We'll see that in a second. You have an additional beverage fridge. Then you got the glass pane cabinet doors. And of course, the beautiful backsplash that's gonna continue from the countertops all the way up. And just so you can see this real quick. So that folds down, just has more of that discreet feel. Of course, that accent wall right there. Okay, so now come down the hallway. As soon as you walk in right here, of course, you got your water closet surrounded by tiling, plenty of space. That's gonna continue from wall to wall, but all the way to the ceiling. Then looking right here, look at that. The floating ceiling detail again, some built-ins, love that. Gorgeous materials, then you're gonna have a floating shelf right there, beautiful sconce, and then of course, your glass enclosed shower. Look at that. So the his and her sinks continues here. You got your freestanding tub straight ahead, a dual entry shower and dual shower head, I should mention. Look at this. So this one's gonna be zero threshold, but you'll notice a herringbone pattern shower floor right there. I tell you, one lucky buyer would have this one. I mean, to be in this location on over an acre and then a completely custom property, can't get much better than that. Okay, so now right here we have our built-in shelving. You got your built-in racks again. You already got the cubby space available, some additional drawers, but look at this. You come around over here and then comes included with Mickey and Minnie. So you got your shoe racks. You see that? The glass panes as far as the cabinet doors are concerned. You have this little closet island for your additional jewelry, maybe some ties, anything that you want to showcase. And then you have some additional storage over here. So massive primary closet that you can take advantage of. And I talk about this quite often. Sometimes we might go into some closets and then the racks don't extend to the ceiling, right? So I feel like there's sometimes a lot of wasted space that you don't get to take advantage of as far as your wardrobe is concerned. But in this instance, continues all the way to the ceiling. Okay, so now we saw our primary suite. Coming right back out here, you see the raised ceilings, plenty of space available. Now let's go ahead and get to the kitchen and our family room. So now heading right here, you have the quartz countertops, but you'll notice there's a nice little custom extension as far as the bar area is concerned. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Nice little custom piece. I'm seeing some European vibes, more of that Italian vibes inside of this property. Okay, so I'll do a full pan and then we'll talk about the kitchen and go from there. So all high-end appliances that you get to take advantage of, some custom work down here and on top for our stacked cabinets. And then of course the range right above that. Opening this, you have plenty of storage available. You are gonna have a butler's pantry. We'll get to that in a second. Nice oversized sink inside of our island overlooking our family room. So right over here, this is a neat feature. You got the Sub-Zero wine fridge in between your refrigerator. How cool is that? So you have plenty of space inside of that one. And over here, looking at your freezer. And then, like I said, some additional cabinets right above that. Then you got some more counter space available right here. The retractable outlets, then the glass panes again. Now, this is going to be cool because, of course, as this is closed, you see how discreet that looks. So I love that. Heading into our butler's pantry, you have that prep counter space, an additional sink, a picture window right there as well, some additional cabinet storage, and then that's going to continue over here as well. Now this will be the side where that 2-car garage bay is. So just to give you reference, this is going to be that dual entry point that you can take advantage of. Open up some of these for you. So you have plenty of storage space available. That's going to continue from wall to wall. And like I said, they're doing some final touches and things like that. So you'll notice some things on the counters and inside of the cabinets. So you got a picture window coming out right here. And then this will be our 2-car garage bay right here. So epoxy flooring again. You got 2 garage doors that you can access right here. Let me just open this up because sometimes I get it. You may want to know what's behind these doors if you're anything like me. Some additional storage space available. And then of course you got your furnace right here. But I love that we have the epoxy flooring, and it's not one of those things where whenever you do purchase, you have to worry about a lease back or anything like that. As soon as you close, you can take possession. All right. Now this is our powder room, of course. You got this nice, unique, sleek vanity. It looks like quartz material. You got the LED mirror again, beautiful accent walls with the tiling. And then you got your black toilet. And then that's gonna lead you back out here to the dining area. And then now heading over here to the family room. Look at this. So you'll notice the floating ceiling again with the cove lighting, then the picture windows surrounding the entire front right here. Then you see you got your floating decor. Look at that. Perfect. Then you got an additional floating shelf right above that. You can add some decor, but I just love these sliders right here. And of course, our massive windows. So really, I came through here and, turn on all the lights, but really at the end of the day, you can have all the lights off on a beautiful day like today and not have to worry. You'll have a ton of light available. Now I'm gonna do one more pan for you. You can see how open it is, how spacious it is. We talk about that all the time. An entertainer's dream. This is certainly the epitome of that. Now, you see some additional sliders right here. So like I said, the indoor-outdoor feel, you can open these up, open the ones up in the primary suite, in the hallway, and you will never have to worry. Before we head to the bedrooms, you got an additional furnace right here. Now let's start right over here to the right. So this is gonna be our secondary bedroom. Again, the floating ceiling available in here. That's a queen size bed. You can see you have plenty of room for the 2 nightstands if you wanted to. Now you got your walk-in closets coming in right here. Love that they added the built-ins, but more importantly, extremely spacious. That's gonna wrap around all the way over here. And again, the one thing that I love that they did is adding the storage all the way to the ceiling. As they say, bravo. So you got your picture windows, you can egress. So that's good about that. Then you have your sconce. You see our floating vanity right here. Then you got the circle mirror with the accent lighting surrounding that. The glass sliding door right here. And look at that. You got your smart toilet. Now this is a smart house as well. Automatic lighting already set up and ready to go. So at the end of the day, the value is certainly here, especially in this particular market. You will not see another home like this ever. Because like I said, completely custom, and this is a one of a kind, or as they say, one of one, right? So very similar bedroom with the floating shelves, or the floating ceiling rather. Look at that. Wraps around again. So you got your built-in racks. You are good to go. And I can only imagine, you know, how the seller would feel after seeing the home. Just, can you imagine modifying a home to your particular liking, spending hours on hours, going through every single detail, and then having to sell it just because you're not going to be able to use it? All right, so you see the zero threshold right here, then some additional wall space right here. So very similar to the other bedroom. So that's what's cool, really uniform throughout. Then right across, same deal. So that'll just kind of show you the space here. Again, another walk-in closet right here. Already got your built-ins ready to go. And you know, we talk about that all the time too. That's probably, I'd say, top 3 comments. One of them is about being so close to the neighbors. So you definitely want to take advantage while you can. So very similar ensuite as the other ones that we've seen, even with the shower surround. But look at the abundance of natural light. The floor to ceiling windows, just done a fantastic job. Then you got a storage closet right here. And this will be our additional bedroom. Now this one's cool because we have the corner sliders again inside of here. And then you have plenty of space available. So right here is gonna be, you got your French doors leading into your closet right here. If you wanted to add the built-in racks down the road, you can certainly do that. Or if this is something where you wanted to have this as a children's retreat, or you know, a game room, you already got the designated media area. We had the good chance of, or the good fortune of seeing that one. Now, you have a quick access door right over here to the left, right? So you can use it as like a little pool bath or something similar to that. You got your smart sink, the LED mirrors inside of here, then the glass sliding door. Now they did add the shower bench. Love what I'm seeing right there. Waterfall shower head. You got your shower niche again. This one is zero threshold as well. Love that. Now let's head out here. Like I said, that is our guest suite straight ahead right there. We'll see that in just a second. Let's see if this one's open. It sure is. So you got some additional outdoor storage right here. Most times you might just have some of the pool equipment in there, and you will be certainly good to go. Now this is an infinity edge pool. Look at this. Look how sleek and beautiful this is. You got the pool and spa. We'll see the outdoor kitchen in just a second, but look how much room you still have available out here. So like I said, one of a kind property. You can see the exterior, how modern and luxurious this is. But I know what you want to see, of course, our guest house. So mother-in-law will have a perfect view. She will have her own sliders, her floor to ceiling windows, even the floating ceiling with the cove lighting again. You can easily fit that king size bed, the 2 nightstands, a dresser, even a designated sitting area. And I think you still have a ton of room available. Of course, you got your closet right here. Just got to add those racks a little bit later on, or you never know. If it's something where you want to purchase this, everything is certainly negotiable. So maybe go ahead and add that in before you take possession. So again, smart toilet, look at that. Automatic. Love that. Then you got the zero threshold again, glass sliding door, waterfall shower head. And if you haven't used one of those before, I highly recommend Most likely, whenever you try it for the first time, you will never go back. I like to say that that waterfall shower head just kind of like hugs you, you know? And you certainly won't have to worry about getting clean. Okay, so now let's go ahead and continue. We'll walk down here and see our outdoor patio. So our backyard patio, extremely spacious, tall ceilings here. You see all the windows encapsulating this. Then you head over here, you got your built-in kitchen. So really this home has everything you would need for a modern luxury property. You got your stainless steel range hood, your oversized blaze grill, an additional sink over here to the left, as you can see, and plenty of space available for any size outdoor living that you need. Goodness gracious. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful property tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home tour. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this particular model. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.